Hello, it's me, Viscous Jiskik. How's everybody's week? Mine was long. I didn't get a chance to play a whole lot of Advance Wars for a few reasons. I was working a lot, and the games that I was in were all played by people that take forever to make moves. One actually ran out of time. I'd been in that game for 1 month and 1 day, so that's quite some time. Another game that I got in this week was, again, on Remember That One Time, and again, I just felt totally clueless. I don't know what it is about this map. Somebody mentioned that all of the properties are very close to factories, which is definitely true. The cap phase, I think, is really unforgiving. The reason that I think that I did so poorly in my game was because I was on the one-player side. I didn't cap this airport with my 2nd infantry from this side. It put me at a funds disadvantage really quickly. And I think on day 6, my opponent built a recon from the top base here and a tank from the aggressive side base, and he drove the recon right up to the city and killed the infantry that I had capping it, and he drove his tank to eventually this city here and started fighting me over it. And at that point I just did not have anything on the top side of the map that could kill the recon, and I didn't have anything on the bottom side. I didn't have enough funds to produce anything on the bottom side of the map that could fight the tank that ended up getting a first strike onto my tank. So I think I maybe gave up a little early. I'm not happy with it, especially because I've still been working on the Never Giving Up edited video. But we're gonna look at Remember That One Time. And I looked at quite a few games on Remember That One Time to find one to review. I will look at Siberian versus NobodyG00d, Thomdor versus Jacksraptor. That was an interesting game because Jacksraptor played Sammy and not Sonya. Jacksraptor's a huge Sonya fan, but that was one of the few games they didn't play Sonya. And I looked at Rader, Elcaroman versus Degis, where they both played Max, but I decided against that one because Max mirrors, they're cool, but not so sure about applying that to my gameplay. I want to play more Max, but Max versus Max seems a little weird. Rader Elcaroman, who I've got in this replay here, he's been shooting up the ranks. I think he's 33-6 right now. I don't know who Rader Elcaroman is, but it's clear that he's played this game a couple of times. So that's neat. The other things I worked on this week were, I worked on the premiere video for the tournament that is coming very, very soon. I worked on a meme that I posted in the strategy channel, the Advanced Wars by Web Discord. And some thumbnails. I'll be getting some real official looking thumbnails that look a lot better than the scrap that I don't throw together at all. YouTube generates for me. That's enough for announcements. Rambled enough. We'll get into this. Rader Elcaroman, Cobalt Ice, right side. Player 1, Adder. This is tier 4 game, I'm guessing. NobodyG00d. Playing as Acid Rain on the left. Grimm. I don't know anything about Adder Grimm. I know that against Grimm, the biggest deal is getting first strikes, so I would think that this adder power really does come in handy sometimes, especially when you can be a little ambiguous about whether you want to save up for the SCOP or randomly pop the COP when you've got it. So we'll take a look here. I'm just gonna use this next turn button. Can I? No, it's not working for some reason. Nothing about this is working. I'm gonna do the thing that I've done in the past. Where is it? Yeah, this is it. There you go. Okay, so here is the first branch of decisions to analyze. Both of these moves are obligated. You got to capture this base. The first infantry, I guess, for the defensive side, you normally, I think players move forward onto the missile silo, and then generally I think you capture this city. Sometimes you might capture the city closer to the HQ. I don't think I've ever seen somebody do that. You can't quite reach this, but you can go for one of these two. Usually I see that being done first because you don't want to give the opponent a chance to build like an recon early and stop you from capping it later, or having to fight a tank for this. I don't know that choosing this first will make a difference in that regard, but usually people do move infantry forward first. And NobodyG00d does mirror that, so that's something to consider. I thought that people generally move forward, but maybe this is optimal if they're both doing it. Rader Elcaroman is definitely somebody to watch. NobodyG00d is obviously somebody good really as well, so. Okay, this is... What? Even if you... I don't know if that's like a misclick or what. This I will frame is objectively wrong. This had to be like a misclick or something. I'll be generous and just say it's a misclick. There's no reason why you wouldn't want to go at least here, because all the options that you get from going here, you get from here, and you also get the added option of capping this first. So, not so sure about this. And indeed, because seemingly Rader Elcaroman did not go for one of these forward-facing properties, it looks like NobodyG00d is going to try to get... He's probably going to move the recon here, and then... Where is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he'll get onto the shoal, and... There's not a good way, seemingly, for Rader Elcaroman to protect the infantry that is going to make that cap. Okay, I can still... It actually gets better terrain from this angle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jeez. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 movement is just so much. Maybe, was this all calculated? Was this, like, man, I just have no idea how to tell. How does he know? How does he always know? Like, he can't make the attack anymore, because, I suppose he can make the attack, but he's giving up the recon to do it. It's not so good. Tank arrives in time. NobodyG00d probably knew that. Where's this recon gonna go? Yeah, he's gonna stop the cap anyways. He doesn't care. It's such an uncomfortable map because of moves, because of things like that that prevent you from playing in that way. Maybe the reason I feel so helpless on this map isn't actually because I'm doing anything wrong, it's just the nature of the map. Like, it's completely... I'm completely open to the idea that I'm not necessarily doing anything, I just feel really uncomfortable on it. Alternatively, maybe that's something I'm just trying to make myself feel better. It's really hard to tell. Who's Steam messaging me? Whatever. This is a really potent spot for this tank. It can move like anywhere. I feel like I've already gotten all the things I need to out of this replay, almost. Maybe not. Man, that's strong. I don't know what. Maybe not. Okay. I'm looking for new inquiries. Why did Rader Elcaroman build this tank rather than a tank here? Is it because he was happy with this positioning, which I would be too, and don't blame him for being so? These two tanks, the fact that these are two Grimm tanks is what makes this so devastating. Is that this tank hitting this tank is going to be on bad terrain. There's nothing that's as good as this city, and this tank behind it being a Grimm tank was really, really scary. So I don't think that Rader Elcaroman is going to make that attack. Yeah, he just moves into the city. There's not, okay, so this to me would feel really, really bad. This is a really similar situation to the one that I was in. My top side was going a lot worse than Rader Elcaroman's, but this bottom side, it feels really bad. Okay, join. NobodyG00d moves back the tank so that he doesn't get double attacked here. Really sensible thing. I suppose this is, yeah. Okay. That looked a little funny for some reason. I'm really trying to parse this upper side. What's the move here? This tank's got to go back. Maybe just giving up this cap. Maybe moving this infantry back and this one forward to hit the 7. So Rader Elcaroman doesn't think that giving NobodyG00d a strike on an infantry on the shoal is worth taking out that infantry. Okay. I would not have guessed this was the play at all. But this does seem pretty good, I guess. No. No, I'm lying? Maybe it does. Maybe Rader Elcaroman will force NobodyG00d to choose between defending this up here and this down here. But he's gonna choose this. Actually, maybe he won't. Okay, yeah. Yeah, because if this... I see. So now, if the tank goes and fires on the infantry, the tank's going to die. If the copter does anything, the copter's going to die. The copter can hit one of the tanks, but it'll still die. The artillery doesn't really have anything to stand behind, which feels really bad. NobodyG00d can't be super happy about this artillery. This was a really interesting maneuver here. I didn't think that... I looked at the copter and the tank and thought that that would be enough to, like, get Rader Elcaroman off of the city, but this is a really good way to protect this cap. Rader Elcaroman has also been playing at like a funds disadvantage for most of the game, I think. This is also really good. I mean, they're in like mirrored positions here, which is kind of funny. 5 HP in all. I mean, I guess that's a worse for NobodyG00d because he's losing this income while Rader Elcaroman didn't have this, but wow, that is a brick. That is one brick. Okay, this is smart. NobodyG00d just... I didn't even really pay attention to this top side of this move. But NobodyG00d formed this brick, which seems really, really hard to break through. Doesn't seem like possible to really attack this in a meaningful way, especially because these mountains are here. In the top side, he just used the 2 ocean tiles to protect this artillery. He put it in the forest. It's got a shot in the city. That seems good enough. And then he put 1 tank to protect the artillery at top, and he put the helicopter here with a tank behind it that he just built. This is really... this is the best defensive formation NobodyG00d could have mustered, and I think that it's pretty good. A rocket? A rocket? What is the sense of the rocket here? If Rader Elcaroman can protect this rocket, it's really good. But that's a big, big if. If NobodyG00d gets 1 tank to attack it, this is a Grimm, or this is Grimm attacking rockets. So, like, how much would this do? Yeah, and if it's on, like, a... I mean, if city's the same, but if it's on, like, a road, then it just dies. If it's on a plane, it probably dies. Yeah, it basically is guaranteed to die. If it's in a forest, it won't die, but might as well die. It can't do anything once you attack it like that. But it does have access to the road. To begin with, it can hit things like it can be protected the same way that this thing is up here, that this artillery is. But this is a lot of money. He can't even build from all his bases. He doesn't even have a unit advantage. That's insane. What the... Is Rader Elcaroman gonna fire this rocket from the base? He has to. What's the alternative? He's not going to build anything. Okay, he's got the mech out because so much stuff is getting so close. Nobody good has a mech in the top side because if he doesn't, then Rader Elcaroman is going to just move forward with this big force. This is a nice defensive unit. Lost and Found, Jake Man, compares these to artillery because they have the same firing range, which is kind of interesting. They can hit things close to them, obviously. They're more defensive than artillery, for sure. They're cheaper. I don't know if you knew that. Okay. So, Rader Elcaroman activates the power. So, what options does he get? Is it this? Might be this. Being able to attack like this. Infantry. He did fire the rocket from the base. He just fired the rocket from the base. I wonder if that was like a power only move. I'm really curious. Power guarantees that. That's a Chad move planner move. Was that the only reason that he fired the rocket, or that he activated the power? I mean, I feel like that's really the only serious thing he got out of it. Okay, so here's Knuckle Buster. That hurt. I don't know if he needed Knuckle Buster for that. He did need Knuckle Buster for that. Yeah, okay. This is pretty good. There ain't no tanks in the bottom part of the map anymore. There's just this one, and this is brand new. NobodyG00d just heading southward to form some defense. He's probably happy to keep Rader Elcaroman continuing to fire this rocket from the base. But I actually don't know if that is a great situation. I mean, obviously, it's better than him firing it from outside of the base. But, like, being able to spend all of his funds in the top part of the map and not being obliged to spend some somewhere else might make this part of the map unwinnable for NobodyG00d. I want to bait him into moving the rocket. Okay, it's baited him into moving the rocket anyways. This is okay, but that feels good for NobodyG00d. Getting something out of it. Okay. Now there's hardly any tanks in the top part of the map. This is feeling a little rough for NobodyG00d. What's the tank difference? 8 tanks to 5. And of those 5 tanks, half are at lower than half-life. So it's actually like 3.5 tanks to about 7 tanks. This is a good turn for NobodyG00d though, for sure. I'm really trying to think about how much good this rocket is doing. Like, is this threatening enough space that, I mean, obviously nobody good has to respect this. Like, there's no doubt about that. He can't park a tank in the range of this thing. But is this really is that different from like a tank? It was for that one turn where it destroyed another tank in one hit. Is this as good as a medium tank? I don't think medium tanks. I don't know how Grimm works, but I don't think that like a powered up medium tank will just... Yeah, no, it totally will. Huh, I didn't know that. Maybe not on planes, but it's on a road. It's so vulnerable. NobodyGood's taking stuff with his army in the south. So the rocket seems to be doing not just quite enough. But NobodyGood doesn't have anything left in the top part of the map. So that's the more serious issue, it seems like. And he's not... This... Well... Yeah, so Rader Elcaroman is... like... Just, yeah, he's like an infantry away from being able to just cover this base. Okay, this is good. NobodyGood's smart. He knew that Rader Elcaroman, if NobodyGood had built anything besides a medium tank here, then it could have died. And Rader Elcaroman would have just covered it. Because between the attacks of this tank, which would have been able to move, and this tank, which would have been able to get the wraparound, and this tank, which would have been able to attack from here, and the anti-air here, one of these infantry would have been able to start capturing the base here, the factory. So it's a really smart medium tank. The issue is it enough? Super. Oh, are they gonna just... Oh my god, he's gonna capture the airport. I didn't even think about the airport. And at the bottom, he's pushing through as well. So here's the haymaker. I'm honestly not so sure about the decision to not go after this infantry. I suppose he can't... Well, he can't really do that. Yeah, it just feels like NobodyGood just doesn't have enough in the top part of the map. Even if the bottom ends up pretty good here, which I think it will. Top part of the map is like completely lost. I at least really respect Nobody Good for not just giving up. Gotta make him earn it. But I can't stay away for Nobody Good to get out of this at present. A bomb. What a jerk. Yeah. It doesn't seem like it's practical to continue going when this airport gets capped. That was just devastating. But I understand the game, the map, a little bit better from this. I understand this matchup quite a bit better from this, just sitting down, looking at it, thinking about it. I don't have any particular comments. Oh yeah, the opening was really interesting from both of them. Going Rader, Elcaroman, yeah, and Nobody Good both going south rather than going forward was interesting. I thought that it would get punished. I talked about how I thought it would get punished, but Nobody Good couldn't do it. Capping the airport first seems important because I think that if you don't do that, then you don't gain the funds fast enough to get a tank to defend. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. I don't think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's like the same thing. Even if you build it from here, you can't get it out soon enough if you've made the correct cap phase beforehand. Getting this airport first is usually getting your airport first isn't that important. Getting your airport early is not really that important. But because it's the only property that's available to the infantry on your defensive side in one movement, it seems like it's more important than normal. And it does give funds just like any other building. Also, none of them went for their comm tower. The comm towers didn't play a role at all in this game. I suppose that if one doesn't, then it gives the other the freedom to not do that. It can be a way of maybe applying pressure if you've got like an income lead and you want to go do it, then that's maybe a smart idea. That's it for now. 5 subs away from the announcement of the tournament. It's just around the corner. I'm going to finish up working on the thumbnails. I've got another video that I'm going to do tomorrow. I think that's it. Have a good weekend, everybody.